Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're gonna go live. We're live. We're gonna talk about the stock market in general, right? So we're gonna break down the dollar with that, Bitcoin, gold, just things correlate with that, and then Russell, Nasdaq, the S&P. Just kind of give you my opinions on that because we actually had a day that honestly I called out in the chat very early. It wasn't too hard, and I want to break that down for you. So let's just I guess just jump on in and we'll get going. So if you don't know these zones, they are my areas of attention. Right now, this dollar is on the weekly zone, which we've talked about the hang on quite a bit. Actually, that doesn't need to be there. So we talked about hitting that and rejecting, hitting that and basing out. So we were looking for the continuation. Now, I did take a long play as a hedge. I am very short the dollar right now, but to hedge that, I did take a long play in the along the US dollar play in the Euro USD. That tagged out. I'm hoping it pulls back. I'm gonna let that ride out and then get back into that hedge. But for I guess for the most part, we gotta please don't do this. And honestly, I've been short the US dollar, Japanese yen. It's been basically broken. It finally just got up above, regardless of any dollar movement or anything, broken, popped up, based out. I did add on today to the short, just because it's at all time highs. Why not? But again, just trading the dollar side, that was a zone. I was thinking rejection, so let's go there. Bitcoin really just hanging out and going sideways. So if you saw my Bitcoin video, just in general, I talked about a bounce here, going up to this zone, and then if it sells off, I think we probably would head on through. Nothing's changed. We are bouncing at this blue zone, and go back if that doesn't make sense because I talked about it as it was crashing, talking about going long here, stop here, take profit here. Had you done that, you would have taken a trade from 61, 62 to I guess 66, 5 ish realistically. Again, that's for anybody that's trading that. It is horizontal until not, but again, I think we found the buyers there, and if there's zero follow through or anything on this, it's going to hop around down to this zone. I do expect some buyers right here at this zone. Ultimately, the reason why this one is brighter is because that's where I'm buying more. All right. As far as the Russell goes, oh, now if you're on a bigger, I always joke around, call it a real time frame. Whole lot of nothing today. Get on that smaller time frame. We did some dancing around. There were some okay moves for anybody intraday trading futures. But these wicks, these were what, midday? Yeah, right around lunchtime. These got a little weird. So I guess that's when Powell was talking. Sent it down right back up. I want to say I even had an alert go off right here. I was like, oh, if we hit this, we're going to send it. So they roped me in with all that. It was on the Russell. But for the most part, I could break down the Russell, the Nasdaq, and the S&P with one ticker. I mean, they look identical. So as far as expected moves go, bounced right off the bottom of that line. We did draw that on Sunday. Again, that's what we watch out for in my group. That's where market makers have things priced out at. So anything below that, they got to do their job. They got to get to work. So staying inside there, feet on the desk, sleeping on the job. Doesn't even matter. Everything's already accounted for. I do think a relief rally is coming. More so on the other ones. Now, one interesting fact, this did get pointed out in my group. From this, so this pullback right here. So 1 to 9% is a pullback. 10% is a correction. We touched 9% today. We are less. We were less than 1% away from a full blown correction just in the Russell. Now, if we get that on the S&P, man, I can't stress it enough. I am going in. I don't care what's flying off. I don't care about overseas. I don't care if that's the narrative. Good job. Good luck. Best of luck to everybody. But if I don't need a lead vest and sunglasses at 11 p.m. correction territory on the S&P, I'm buying all of it. Quite literally all of it. I've even warned my group. They probably think I'm kidding. I'm gonna show up on like quant data and all those like options things. That's how bullish I'm gonna get. unless nukes do start flying. I'm like a 95% chance I'm buying everything if we get to that 10% mark. We would need something to really tell me not to. Uh, all right. As far as the Nasdaq goes, let's jump down to a smaller time frame. Really, again, hit this zone, based out overnight. Now, last night we hit this zone, and so this was news to me. I didn't know you could do this. TQQQ is on Robinhood's 24-hour. So I bought the futures, and a lot of other people in the group bought TQQQ, which was a nice trade because in the morning it was up. So that sold, came right back down. And all we did was bounce back and forth between these two zones all day. Buyers here, sellers here. Does look like we're creeping up. If we get above this blue zone, I do think we check this yellow zone. But for now, that is just going to be a short entry. I can't go short down here at the bottom because what I like to do is poke fun at the people that do that. And then I can teach the lesson on what a rip your face off rally is. I don't like to just jump in both feet. I like to go short up here, maybe the break of this zone. So overall, I am bearish, but I'm very picky and I do want a short entry, which right now, that's just not enough. I don't think we're anywhere done. What we did, though, was we did finally break this range and kind of put it in send it mode. It's not a break and a retest. All I care about is the actual break here. I'm just going to leave that here just for, and right there at the link too, just for more coaching purposes in the future. Because I draw these out a lot. And we're inside, and the narrative and the excuses and the news you guys, everyone brings up changes all the time throughout this. We're cutting rates, or we're not cutting rates. No, we're going to cut rates. It's like just back and forth. Look back, it's like, yeah, we did nothing. They just sold you a bunch of lies, and you went for it. Anyway, so that's why I'm going to leave it there for now. Okay, overall today, whole lot of nothing unless you were trading futures, maybe 0 days to expiration. 0 days to expiration options, you either did really well or just got absolutely smoked. On days like this, if you were participating, there's almost no in between because these wicks right here were within minutes. I got the alert, and I actually had bad cell service. And I'm like, oh, are we sending it? What's up? And then by the time things did load for me, we were already back down. And I wasn't in a desert wasteland. I just didn't have good service. We can't get rid of these. All right, so just shy of the expected move, basing out. Again, I think we're oversold. If we chop tomorrow, though, if we do chop all day tomorrow, here's your indicator. And I say this a lot, and that's kind of why I've left this is the 9 EMA or SMA up there. I say a lot of times, hey, indicators probably just need to cool off, and then we're just sending it. The bears are just catching their breath. Winnie the Pooh's not in the best shape. He eats a lot of honey. So after a run like that, probably got to catch his breath before he just does another sprint. So the relief rally better come in tomorrow, or I probably am going to have to take a short position. If we chopped all day and did not break today's high or low, if we did all that tomorrow, I'm going to have to enter short. For now, I, again, caught the knife. Now, I was playing the S&P. What if it wasn't for signal? If it was not for signal, there's a couple people in my group that are absolutely obliterating it with 0 days to expiration. No FOMO or anything, but I just want to do it. I want to take a crack at it and see if it's something I can repeat. I don't want to have just a hot streak. I don't want to win a couple times and talk about it on Instagram. I want to see if there's something I can put together, replicate, and go for it. Because 0 days, I trade futures, so I have the leverage. But there could be some cheap options. There could be the perfect storm setting up that I think I want to get involved in. Anyway, I set this alert early this morning. Said if we break that, it was one of my first chats in the morning. Was like, hey, if we break that, I'm probably going to go for it. I actually set it on SPY, and that's it was 506.32 was my. I should show it right here. What's today? The 16th. Why am I not showing these? Not that it actually matters. Well, so much for showing you guys that. Anyway, I posted it in the chat. But that was going to be my, if we do it, I'm going for it. Now, I already caught the absolute bottom. And this is better because I look at the futures. So we dropped down, hit that. Now I swung calls overnight. So don't get that part wrong. Those are already red. We nailed this zone. I went long twice. I was like, man, if we break that, I'm going for it. I'm going to do something stupid. I'm going to load up on the cheap ones and see if we can send it. Not that anything is cheap right now because of Vega. But so what I wanted to show you guys today was I called this out in the chat, my chat. Where was that? I'm gonna bring it up and show you guys. So today, just shy of 1 hour after open, at 9:27, marks me open at 8:30. I said if we bounce here on SPY, I'll just expect chopped until a level breaks. So yeah, I knew it was right inside here. And we literally had just bounced. Now we had not created that wick yet, but I was like, man, if we just bounce and don't even that was more like a fake out. I was like, man, if we just bounce right there, we don't actually like send it, we're just gonna hold it. No, like that was our opening energy right there. And so that's why I was like, we were pushing up and we're going for it, and it just turned on a dime. I was like, okay, cool. Play the trend, drop, base, drop. We're just in send it mode. And without that, we're not going anywhere today. We're oversold. We're going to have some indicators to kick off. We got Powell talking. He wasn't going to say anything, but if he happens to say something, I guess that could be an excuse. So at that point, that's why I called it. I was like, man, if we're going to bounce here, there's a lot of bulls and bears in my chat. I think mostly a lot of people are short, but a lot of people are waiting also for a good entry. And so that's why I had those calls, bought some more calls right here. And then I literally just waited all day. There was nothing until that alert went off. I was like, when this level breaks up here, I'll go for it. Happened in a minute. All right. So I am still in them. They do expire tomorrow. So I guess not 0 days expiration, right? 1 day. So thinking relief rally, if we can get above this blue zone, I think we go for it. So take that at your own risk. There really is, as far as people say like trading stocks is gambling. When it comes to 0 days to expiration stuff like that, very much so. I mean, it's a roulette trade. There's really no take this with a grain of salt. No strategy there. You're gonna buy it. It's gonna be right or it's gonna be wrong. There's not a lot of let me put a stop in place or anything like that. It's you're gonna put your chips on the table, and that dealer's gonna stack some up for you or take them away. Like those are really your only two options. So I call them a roulette trade. Um, doesn't mean they're bad or you can't make money with it. It's just mindset wise, don't think I'm going to load up on capital and then I'm going to allocate a whole bunch, but I'm going to stop out because there's a lot of slippage in that one. Hopefully we just send it. I don't care if we wake up over here. I don't care if we wake up down here. I'm really not worried until we break today's high or low. Unless tomorrow stays inside that range, then I got to take the short position with the stop right above here. There's one more thing. Gosh, I called out today. It was last night. Sorry, I said the gap up tomorrow is going to suck. I was like, we saw it right before the bell. I was like, "Oh, is it going to be a gap and crap?" And I did a poll in my chat. Discord's got polls now, so I'm trying to figure all that out. And I even said, "Is this going to be a gap and crap or a gap and go?" Like it was almost just obvious we were going to get a quick little pop. But I will say, thumbnail and title, we're talking about a relief rally. If we're not above here. Some dork's gonna come in the comments like that didn't age well, because he doesn't listen or pay attention, anything. So shout out to that guy. When you read the comments down below, just shout out to that guy. Yeah, if we don't get above that, I don't think we base out for 2 days and then just send it up. I think we're basing out. Bears are just letting the indicators cool off. We're gonna go from really over. Let's just pull up the RSI. So look, we went from really oversold to all we did was go sideways, not so oversold anymore. That's indicators cooling off. EMAs, they no longer look like a stretched out slinky for those of you guys that have 30 of them on your chart. Just surely it's going to bounce at one of them. RSI, super oversold. All we're doing is cooling those things off. You'll watch this thing creep right up to here at this 62 level. This will have done nothing, and then it's time to crank it again. At that point, I'll have to take the L, and we're going in on some puts. Let's do some tickers. I do see one Krim says Netflix earnings on Thursday after hours may create lots of millionaires on Friday with call options. So you're saying you're in calls and you really want to speak that into existence? So around earnings season, I do get a lot of questions. Are you bullish or bearish? Like, all right, I'll answer those questions. But there is just, and like I said in my chat earlier, it would just be irresponsible of me to answer those questions with any degree of confidence. 100% my opinion. There is no earning strategy. In fact, if you're watching a YouTuber that tells you he knows what it's going to do on earnings, I'm dead serious when I say this. This isn't YouTube drama or anything. I would click unsubscribe and I would right click on his name and say, "Don't show me notifications from this guy ever again," because he's has no idea what he's doing. Period. No ifs, ands, or buts. Sorry. Unless he's just down to go to jail and he's sharing insider information. In that case, whatever he says to you, leak it to me with like a little wink, and I'll help with your attorney fees. 10%. Just saying. But other than that, no. And you can tell him I said that too. I'll debate anybody that says that. I'll die on that hill. Karim, I do have. Let's just pull up Netflix really quick because I sold the 565 puts. I don't know why I typed that in. What sucks is, never mind. We're better. Okay. Around this, I actually sold the 565 calls at first. I was like, I am collecting a lot of money. This is great. And I made like $700 on it because I was like, why is my P&L bouncing around this much? I realized I was on the wrong side of the options chain. Very stupid mistake. Close that out for a nice win. Sold the 565 puts. This is your expected moves right now for Netflix. So it's up there. And 565 puts it right here. So I will own Netflix if it does drop below that. Right now, I'm hoping we just kind of hang out. If it bounces down and it comes back up, it's just a win. I don't know if I'll be buying any dip. You guys have watched me do this a lot. Usually, maybe Brad will be streaming live, and it'll hit a zone. You'll just see me pop in the chat saying, I'm going to buy it. And then it hits this zone, and then I buy it. And then you question, oh, how is he up so much? CrowdStrike was the better example of that. You can literally watch this stream live and watch me say I'm going to buy it at that zone. And then I bought it, and then it fills. And then here we are today. I do still have it. Just up. Anyway, don't think I'll do that with Netflix. But I will say it does have nice premiums. First call it today. Today was BS. Let's get back to today real quick. Today wasn't BS. Let's erase the zones. Today wasn't BS. I'll tell you what it was BS for, though. Anybody that didn't recognize the chop and thought we were going to go somewhere. We have been in absolute just send it mode. And the market is just not that unstable yet. It can. Like the 2020, yeah, we were just diving. It was just 10% a day. Are we going to, fault this thing today? We're going to halt. The S&P, is the S&P going to halt? But like, we're doing it and we're chilling. So after a day like yesterday, coupled with Friday's sell-off, today was either going to be a relief rally or chop. And I guess that's just a more likely scenario. Yeah, we could have just went in full-blown melt mode. But if they do that, panicking just creates more panic and things just get nuts. And things do start to unravel because, and like I say in my group all the time, regardless of any news you're listening to, nothing creates more sellers than a red candle on the chart. Okay, it doesn't matter who tweeted what. Doesn't matter who. I don't care about Michael Burry's position. I don't care about anything. That red candle will create more sellers than you've ever seen. So I worry more about that. And that does need to be controlled. Just like this was a very systematic, like push up. A little bit up, we chill it out, pull it back. A little bit up again, pull it back. Very just controlled, systematic. They can't just dump this thing or everyone loses this. Karim, I do see your comment. Any thoughts about holding Tesla shares? I'm recording another video right after this. It'll be on Don Fran's show, which is an AI channel, but AI investments, tickers, all that. It is getting its own Tesla video today. More than an Elon tweet? Yeah. There are, just let's put that in reference because you guys think Elon can move the market. And he's got some weight. Don't get me wrong there. But how many Tesla bulls just think they're just, I got this. You couldn't make me sell. Diamond hands. and then he tweets something, and then the red candle shows up. Now that tweet didn't get him to sell because he's talking about diamond hands. He can't wait to text his friends. I can't believe these paper-handed sissies are selling. 3 minutes later, that big red candle comes up and it's past his point, and then he's selling too. Again, that red candle always bring in that fear, bring on the emotions, which is why short selling gets so attractive. I know people that only short the market; they never buy long. It's just those quick gains because it's just pure emotion to the south side. It can really draw you in. What do you say about DXYZ? Should I sell? Well, I'm in it. I'm holding. This is not a trade for me. This is a hold. And there's comments on here, and don't get me wrong, I welcome people's comments. But they're like, oh, you're buying SpaceX through here because this is a ticker and its top holdings is SpaceX. It's actually right here. Here's its holdings. SpaceX 34.6%. Now they want to have 100 companies in here. These are companies that are not private, and you can't buy it unless you are a VC or accredited investor, and not on top of that, but you know the right people. Okay, I don't think Chamath watches these streams. If he does, he's not gonna say anything. He's just watching the yellow boxes. Yes, I did get off the other day. So I don't really care about any of these other ones. I care about OpenAI and SpaceX. And to be honest, all these other companies, Impossible Food, no one cares about that. Why? What? No, I would short them if they came out public. And if you are a VC or anything like that, then because I've talked to them before, because I wanted to get into like angel investing and stuff like that. And really, they'll say you'll buy 100 companies, one of them will take off, 99 almost just go to crap. Worse than the restaurant business. So when people say you're paying more for SpaceX, it's also weighted a lot more, and that's what I like about this one. That's what draws me to this one. There's another one that has it, but SpaceX is like 10%. So 10% gets muddied up real quick with some of the other ones. If this was 100% SpaceX, I'd probably pay quite a bit more for it. But I don't think people know about this ticker yet because the spreads are still very wide. So I think this still has some price adjusting. And what I mean by that is the stock market, despite what you guys believe, is a huge game of just a popularity contest. And you can tell that with the spreads. That's what creates those tight spreads is people getting in and out, the availability to buy and sell. This thing has a pretty wide spread, which tells me not a lot of people know about it. So if people find out, could send this thing up, could send it down. I'm going to own it for the next few years, regardless. I guess if we just went into send it mode and it goes from 30 back up to 120, I'd probably sell some. I'd probably just trail it, and if it hopped down again, I'd just be right back in. But not a trade for me. So when you say should I sell, that's not anything I could ever tell you. I can just give you my opinion on what I'm doing. I couldn't tell you to sell while I'm holding it. But I have a plan, right? So I have a certain allocation to this, and I have a plan. This thing goes to zero. Yeah, I'm still in it. I have the default stop loss on this thing. Goes to 1 million tomorrow. I'm also in it, so I can get all the wins and losses on this. I would just say come up with a plan, a realistic plan. And where are you going to get out? First of all, you should have all that before you ever click the buy button. You shouldn't be asking me, should I sell? You should already know those answers before you ever even click that buy button, before you even open the order. Like say, for instance, you're going to buy it right here, but you're going to stop out if it breaks this low. We'll call it $9. We'll call it just a flat 8 because we'll take the change off of both. You're going to give that $30 per share. Now, if you only want to risk $100, you can only afford to buy 3 shares because that's where your stop loss is going to be. None of this stupid crap of I'm going to start here and I'm just going to add on later because this thing for sure is already going to bend you over. Like that's what I hear when people tell me they're going to take a starter position. Oh, you just can't wait to lose, huh? You already know you're going to lose on that and you're just going to double down later for the sake of it? Find out where your line in the sand is at. Figure out how much per share that is. And then how much do you want to risk and still sleep at night? And then that's how many shares you can buy. Dustin says he grabbed a put on NVIDIA today. I'm sorry, man. It would have been quicker if you just PayPal me the money. Do you want my PayPal? It would have been a lot quicker. Last one. Cody, I'm going to get back to yours. PayPal. NVIDIA put. I don't know. NVIDIA is very range bound. Let's get onto a real time frame again. The only. So when it's range bound like this, let me get my head out of the way. Horizontal until not. If you bought a put maybe up here, you're thinking, hey, bear flag. All that is, I'll give you that. Dead cat bounce. But I would still much rather. I like going short at the top and long at the bottom. I guess as long as you have your own risk parameters. Hopefully you win. I mean, I'm not gonna lose any sleep if you win. Hopefully you do. I guess why though? Why would you buy an NVIDIA put? You don't have to answer that. That's even a silly question. What I would caution though, as far as did NVIDIA get called out today? Should make sure I need to be talking to somebody else. Okay. So characteristically, NVIDIA pushes up, goes sideways, and then sends it again. You've had that happen. That was in earnings. Here's your sideways action, going for it. All right through here, goes for it. We just pulled up a whole bunch of these. Here's another one. Hopefully something like this happens for you, but this thing bases out and then goes for it, cools off, goes for it, and that's kind of what I think might be going on here, and that's what I would just be cautious of. Lost some money on meta calls because of this chop today too. So just hung out. NVIDIA put because Disney Castle pattern. I did see that. in the chat. You're right. It's giving off the vibes. I have my risk set, but I see the setup. That's music to my ears. That's what I care about. What I don't want to have to answer is, hey, I bought this. What should I do now? I don't know. I'm not your fairy godmother. You figure it out. Risk should always be answered. Lost some money down medicals. Yeah, just chopped. Did absolutely nothing. Just hung around at the zone. Oh gosh, this is why you have to be. If we chop tomorrow, I think that one's gonna go for it. Hopefully we send it. No, that's just another higher low for Meta. This could be a pretty decent dip buy, but also that setup right there that just has bear flag written all over it. Not gonna lie, Meta's my number one position. I stand nothing but to gain if it goes up. But just to tell you guys right now, even looking at this and how bullish I am and how everyone should probably just own this, looks like you might be getting it cheaper around that 480 mark. I haven't sold any Meta puts in a while. If we drop off, I'll just wait till we hit that zone, then I'll sell some 450s. Hey, Don, this trade went against me. Should I double down or triple down? Yeah, I love those. I'll make it exciting. What's your heart rate say? Because if it's not pumping 180 a minute sitting down, you need to up those numbers. The answer is always yes. Google, still looking to sell a call? Yeah, I'll wait for tomorrow. If it breaks this 153, this low right here, you could probably sell a 155. You're just going to open yourself up for like it did today, like where I had that alert where it just tags it and just turns it. With volatility the way it is, and I will show you guys this. This is something I showed the group last night. VIX is up there, right? And the VVIX is also up there, which tells me things are just going to be spicy. And when there's volatility like this, it's like running the pacer in gym class. We're going to run from line to line to line, and it's going to be quick. So you might have an alert set, and you might think that setup is good, and then that alert goes off, and then like today, just like with my alert, by the time that thing even loads, it's already pulled back. You're like, it's one perk about it being so fast is like you didn't have time to take the trade. But what sucks, and I've had it happen a lot, is you do have time to take the trade. It waits for you to enter, and it just turns that ship around. And I mean, just today, just looking at this, let's get into the 15-minute again. Talk about getting the Bulls and the Bears excited. I mean, I'm sure I had Bears in my chat just getting ready to pop bottles and tell me how wrong I was for being bullish. And then they're probably hating themselves like I'm going to hear it later from Don tonight because he's long and I'm short. And then we're just right back in here at the middle. They were getting everybody excited, then just said, thanks for your money. We call that theta. And you're welcome. Case closed. My emotions go crazy during the chop. That shouldn't. The chop is, if you let it get to you, the most annoying thing you'll ever watch. But if you once you recognize it's chop and like, no, this day sucks, just move on to something else. It'll be the coolest day because you finally get a vacation. Like, hey, trust me, as a trader, you don't get a lot of those. The market is always open. I guess you could take time off, but so choppy days like this, like cool, I could just put my phone in my pocket. There's no, I have alerts set on like the highs and lows, and like let me know when it breaks. Wake me up when the market wakes up. Get into that routine, and chop's all right. You can just a choppy day here and there. You're like, cool, it's just a little break. We're taking a break just like those indicators are. Says I don't want a vacation. Tesla will get its own video because, yeah, I'm going to own it at 160. I've been making plenty of videos about this. I've been selling the 160s, the 160 250s. Sold a lot of puts on this. And I do have three, I want to say three right now, different expirations. One of them is tomorrow. And by tomorrow, God, today's not Thursday. That sucks. By tomorrow, I mean Friday. If we're still down here, I'm going to own some more Tesla shares at 160. And like I said in those videos, once I do, and I'm going to take assignment. Once that happens, real quick, I said I'm going to take assignment. If we are still in this zone and we are still at the money, I will roll it a week out because it's just free internet money. Why not? I will switch to sell the 140s. I originally said like 140s and then the 120s. But I'll sell the 140s. Once I get assigned on both the 160s and 140s, I'll probably sell the 120s. That's the plan right now. But if you're only watching this video, don't just start selling the 140s and then the 120s and then question me later as to why you have so much. Because the 120s, if all of a sudden we are just in melt mode, we've broken too many levels, then I won't take assignment on those. And I don't recognize the chop as soon as you do. Man, I literally said it in the chat today, and you were there. Next time I say it's about to be choppy, maybe consider I've been doing this a while. Yeah, when it's choppy, set your alerts, sandwich it, and move on. As far as Tesla goes, I will say there's an argument to be bullish the earnings. It's just sold off. Earnings is around the corner. It's sold off a lot. It's gotten one beat down after another. I'm fairly confident Elon's going to come out and talk about a recession and how bad things are. He's going to probably talk about the taxi and all that, and maybe there's some bullish things in there. I'm sure he's going to come out with some bearish talk, but at the same time, the beatdown Tesla's had, what is he going to come out and say that we don't already know? Probably don't already have priced in. The people that were going to get scared and sell probably already have. So I'm thinking, as far as the downside goes, how much more juice do you want out of this? It's like picking up an already squeezed orange, just looking for an extra cup of orange juice. You went to buy Tesla at 140, but won't buy at 120. Infinitely finite. It's just because by the time we get to 120, are we in a waterfall mode? Or I will, if we are just chopping it and holding it. Yeah, I still like those levels. But if we're in waterfall mode, then no, because I'll already have enough. I'm kind of surprised your channel and presence has not grown more than it has, to be honest. Do you make shorts on TikTok? Listen, I made a TikTok one time. It was a contest with Brad. It was like one video for 30 days. I did it. Got like 2,000 followers. And I was like, that's cool. And it stopped. I'm going to make more. The TikTok is still Don Fran show. And I want to actually start making shorts and posting them on here. There has been a lot in the works. I will say that. I've been extremely busy, but I think it might be chugging along. So hopefully I can get some more content out. I appreciate that comment though. My Tesla put expires May 3rd. I got $500 for it. Yeah, I have one of those. And again, if we're at the money on any contract that I've sold and it's about to expire, I'll roll it for one more week because that's a full week of at the money theta. It's a full contract. Do you make TikToks while wearing short shorts though? I would. I'm not above it. Would if that would guarantee me 100,000 subscribers on YouTube, I could try twerking. Is that what you guys want to see? Didn't think so, but hey, I've been wrong before. But Don Franz Show, the other YouTube channel, will have a Tesla video tonight. Sorry, I don't make the rules. He says, I guarantee it. That gets the views? Okay. Well, you guys better watch them. You ever seen a robot twerk? No, Watson. Absolutely not. Okay, as far as Ford goes, didn't I see someone's in here going long? Or you wanted to sell some puts? I know it was Alex. He's probably. I want to sell Ford calls, but need a green day. Yeah, there's no way you'd catch me selling a Ford call right now. That's the time to go. This is a type 1 to go long, not taking bearish trades. I guess bearish would just be playing that trend. You're going to collect $3 and watch that thing go to $30 on a bounce right here. Especially if it gets above this blue zone. You might get a decent pop somewhere up to here, like the 1250 mark. Maybe make the 13s worth something. Yeah, and like it happened last time right here, the conversation we had about Ford is like, Ford likes this range. I'll be surprised if it breaks. It did for a little bit, gave off the middle finger pattern, came right back down. So still, if it got to that yellow zone, I'd be selling the 13s and just playing that range for a while. Yes, Lisa. This is your time to ask about Leafs. Yeah, I said in the chat, we're doing it all at once. I still have stuff to put together. I have a bench, I have a fire pit, I have a couple fire pits. Like, anyway, they got destroyed today. There was a tornado that touched down like 20 minutes north. You would have thought it was at my house because everything got rearranged on the back patio. So I got to rebuild some stuff and for the sake of time, we got to rock and roll. Looking to roll my sold Tesla 145 put to next week for earnings. Why not take advantage of that? Vega. Either same strike or down to 140. I can't answer that for you. You know what you're doing. Oh, dumbest answer too. I hate that answer. I mean, you know the risk. You're going to own it at 140 or you're going to own it at 145. So it's a $5 difference on the strike. Personally, I would sell the 145s. $5 for Tesla just isn't a move. If $5 is not a make or break it for Tesla, you know? So if I own it at 145 or I own it at 140, who cares? But then you tell me how much more you collected on the 145 versus the 140. Okay, now I got a reason. Tesla can cover that inside of 15 minutes. So whatever trouble I'm in at 145 or 140, it's all the same to me. Maybe sell some more Palantir puts, either 20 or 21 for earnings. I was looking at that. I think I'm doing the 21s. Because I thought about just straight at the money. I'm bullish Palantir, and I don't mind owning more at 21. I like this zone, and I also like this other zone. The $20 mark for me was like, I think if we break, we could bounce here, but I would actually expect this yellow zone down here. So I'd sell the 21s, rock that thing into that one. 1850s would be next. By the way, anyone following the growth account, like on Patreon or anything, we're gonna start buying Palantir every week, just to accumulate shares. And again, it's gonna be the $150 every week. We're gonna start tossing into that. We're gonna get another 100 shares, just to again accumulate some more. I do want the income off it, but I don't want to have just 100 shares like we have because I get nervous selling a call because I want to keep those. So, and as it's selling off, we're going to accumulate some more so we get a little bit extra income. We'll see if my sold PayPal 63 put survives until Friday. I would probably manage that tomorrow. If tomorrow's green and we get that relief rally, I'd probably manage that because you got below that zone. We're going to check that zone from the bottom. Sorry. And how many times has someone come into the group and said, hey, what would you do right here? You're like, well, that's a short entry. If you're green tomorrow and it's up here, I'd probably close it. Or roll it. Get one more week. I would roll it at that time, so you're not rolling in the hole. Sold the 157.50s covered calls on Google last week. Still on those? When do they expire? At 80%. Okay. Why are you still in? 80% is a good trade. I'd have closed those right before the bell today. Plan was to let them expire worthless. Sold them for $312 each. They expire Friday. Lester. Let me break this down real quick. 312. So you're up $250. So you got about $62 left on those. I guess the question is the $62 worth it? There's a quote. Gosh, I wish I knew it. I'm going to butcher it. If you've heard it, you'll already see it. 80% is just most of the work, something like that. The extra 20% is almost negligible compared to the first 80%. Who knows that quote or that line? Again, you're $250 and you're just like trying to squeeze that extra little bit out of there. If that just sends it, well, let's say we get a relief rally tomorrow. What if that was just the best dip buy in the higher low and we just go for it? Then you got to let your leap. If it's a poor man's covered call go, or your shares go, or you're in a rolling scenario, you did that for $60 when you've already got paid $250. He's typing, so he might have a reason. But for anybody else, oftentimes just think about that, because a lot of these trades, and now I've had it, it's just when you think it's going for 100%, like, and there's just a couple bucks left, that's an ego thing. Who cares about that couple bucks? That couple bucks usually isn't worth the risk. You were tied up at work? Okay, that sucks. Had my stop at 75%. It didn't trigger. Yeah, on those, I would. I mean, here we are now. It doesn't matter. But like typically, if I'm in that and I'm busy, I would say, hey, I gotta pull my phone out real quick. It's 2:58. Give me 2 seconds. And if your boss doesn't like that, just have him talk to me. I'll give you permission, and your boss can just talk to me. I'll talk to your boss. Can't guarantee your employment status, but I can guarantee I'll get the point across. 100%. Are we selling any puts on Palantir? Growth account? No. Main account? Yeah, 21s. Sold a covered call yesterday to expire on the 3rd. It was up over 50% today, so I closed it. 50% is where I start asking myself, and I've said this before, sorry if you've heard this a bunch, but 50%, I'm like, if I have a reason, instantly gets closed. If we're trucking along, everything looks fine, then it'll probably stay on. 80% for sure I'm closing that thing at the bell. Let's see, 80% for sure. And 50% is, I guess, right there at that 50-50. And it kind of just goes like gradient scale, just up, like 70, probably closing it. Why would you not close at 70? 1 day instead of 2.5 weeks is good. Yeah. Yeah. And then if it pops up again, double dip on it. Cody's been killing it. The admin in the chat right now. Absolutely killing it, because he will sell a call on Google. Google will sell off, will buy it back, close it, pops back up, so he does it again. And you can, when you get the right price action, not only did you just close an awesome trade, but you get to double and triple down on things. Sounds like Don is issuing hall passes for folks with day jobs. Steve, would you hire me? I will say there's one solid perk. You know exactly what I think at all times. While going over Tesla and Palantir, strikes and expirations for covered calls. Okay, I don't know if I would right now. That's garbage. If it popped up to this 168 mark into that zone, I would sell the 175s unless you want to play it safe. Maybe push it out a further week and do the 185s, but then you have earnings plays, so that's going to get involved. This is in a heartbeat. Cody says, I do like a good triple down. See, Steve, that's why you probably wouldn't want to hire me. Sometimes I can't read. Got the whole stock thing figured out though. As far as Palantir, I don't like selling calls on red days. I would need a green day. And then are we green to here? Did they just sign a contract and we are up to here? Because then I'm gonna tell you the 24 that I probably mentioned earlier was worthless. You need to be selling the 26s, if not the 27s. I would for sure need a green day. Popping it all up to here, it would just be probably a decent short entry, and that's probably where I would start to look for a covered call, and it would be the probably 2350s on that one. All right, AMAT. Let's talk this out, please. Let's talk about it. Now, this was AMAT, and what was the other one you wanted me to compare this to? You posted a chat earlier. They look identical, so I don't know what there is to break down. They're both basing out. Let's see if there's a better play. Let's just fine tune it a little bit. We jump up, we really hang out, right? Here's your bulk of that. So we jump up into here, nothing but sellers, sends it back down. Sellers here. So there's your type 1, type 2 lines right there. Send it, get above it, bring it right back down. Finally gap above it, trigger all the stops, full send into that mode. So these are your full-blown zones right there, and we're horizontal. Okay? But we are kind of also at the same time creeping our way up. So I got to say that's looking all right. I'd say a bullish continuation on that one. Leave that top one there. All right, so we got $208, $209 ticker, bull flaggish pattern. Okay, ASML. Oop, nope, AMAT would be better. $900 though. Okay, you want to go long, right? We're not selling options. You want to buy options, correct? You want to go long calls. Nothing but Winnie the Pooh hanging out right there. I don't like how this one's flattening out. So I would consider selling these puts, but do you want to own 100 shares of this one? Or ASML has earnings come out in a few hours? Well, here we go. You're talking about a sector play then. Word is it will crush it. Can you buy us 24 hours on Robinhood? Let's find out. Let's just buy all the shares right now. All of them. I'll buy 10 million if you buy 10 million. What do you say? ASML can't buy it. Why? What is this? That's very weird. This stock is not supported on Robinhood. Robinhood has their 24-hour market. Let's not see if you can even buy it on that one, since the market's closed right now. You can't even buy us at all on Robinhood. Weird. Let's pool our money. I will if you borrow me 10 million. Oh, there's Cody. Says you can't even buy it. I like the other one better, regardless. KLAC is similar to ASML. Yeah, price action wise, probably right about the same. I shielded you ASML at 500. You sold at 750 though. What a crappy trade. TOS is still open for you? I thought TOS closed at 7. I like the first one. Actually, I like AMAT better. At least that one, price action wise, for as little as we're diving into this, which is just technical analysis. At least your buyers are picking this up. I would take this trade. Breakout play. Where we at? Buy every available share, right? Give the peasants some, leave 'em like a couple hundred shares. But yeah, I would. Fun fact about the float is it goes away when you buy all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Now who's controlling the market? You want to buy a share? I'll let you know where the bid is at. Just saying. If the AMC crowd ever figured that out, can you imagine that? Probably could take it to 100 grand. UNH short. Did that just blow up today? Oh my gosh. Zone to zone. Pre-market. So this thing gaps up into that magic yellow box some weird guy drew, sells off into the blue zone right here. UNH short. No, I'd say that looks more like a dip buy. That's a bull flag. I'd rather buy this right now and put a stop. Yeah, I'd probably tighten it up for 463.45. Below that, and see if we can't get above that. That jumped up into there, and we sold off because there was maybe some old sell orders, knee-jerk reaction. You're telling me if I buy right here, I have to just stomach this, and that's all I have to go through when I own this stock? Sign me up all day. Would not not a single bull that bought right here is worried or even batting an eye at that. I would say that's still it's a zone until not. That is still a rejection. So if it does break that down, you're probably right back here in this yellow zone. But if we're still here in the morning, I'd take the long side on that one. Looks like it beat estimates in January 24 and October 23. Sounds like it's on a run. That's a streak right there. 2 quarters. And yet it dropped. But July 23, it beat and gapped up. It stayed green. Kept going. Today, big gap up, ending with a red candle. A tiny red candle. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that love to tell you what earnings is about, and it's the guidance, and it's the story, or it's if they beat or if they missed. And yet every one of those, the guidance did something, and you think it would go up, but it went down. They beat their numbers, still went down. They missed their numbers, and it went up. So I don't actually care I care more about the reaction than I do anything else. On a daily, it's a red candle. On a daily, that thing gapped up to the stratosphere. And it was like, is that Earth's gravity or what's this thing on me? Why do I feel this pressure? You can't call that a red candle. Fine. You know what? I hope Tesla has all kinds of red candles like these for the next week straight. Let's get Tesla at all-time highs. Those are the red candles I like. Hey, we're going to go here. And if you want to grab some more, here's your chance. I wouldn't mind that at all. Especially at that level. Shout out to Pick, because I know he was in this. What an awesome play. I had a very similar zone on my chart with a note to go long, but no alert set. Oh, that sucks. I do hate missing out on trades like that. All right, could I zone out Baba? Yeah. Well, let me tell you this. If you like Baba at 69, you are going to love it at 59. I'd say you're 2 days away from that. Just kidding. But you might recognize the play I just said I was pretty bullish on. Remember that one? We just broke it down. I remember. You were there. AMAT. I said, man, I'd break that thing up. Looks just like that. That does look like it's coming down. So there's that. This is a wide zone, though. Okay, we just grabbed the absolute bottom. This is probably traditional supply and demand style. Not probably, it just is. But let's fine-tune that just a tad. That's a hard one to fine-tune. Let's just grab the bulk of it right inside there. There we go. Yeah, like I said, 59. I would if there's enough meat on the bones for you to take that short. Honestly, if it breaks 67, I would consider just shorting that and taking the trend. Did you say you were long the dollar, shorting the Euro USD? Not yet. I want the dollar to pull back and then I'll get back in, Lester. FedEx did just hit the zone from the top. This would just be a zone trade for me. So I would go along with the stop at 258.45. So my trade would look just like, let's go long position. If we were here in the morning, that's where I would buy it. My stop would be below these red wicks right here. Because we hit that zone and held, broke it a little bit here. Again, I like to put my stops below the wicks. So that's 258.85. 85 cents is just a number that I like. And that's just evolved over time because I used to put it at the dollar. That was stupid. 95 cents. Got a little bit better. Still sucked. 90 cents. A little bit better. Still sucked. 85 cents. I was avoiding just that whole dollar drop and tag you out crap. So that's what my trade would look like. It looks like you would be risking 2 to make 8. Yeah. Now go tell your YouTube guru, I only take a 1-to-4 ratio because that's how fancy I am. Perfect setup. Oh, hang on. Back to Baba. I just saw the other part. You're thinking a horizontal play. The reason I wouldn't call it horizontal is because we are trying and it is just fading. Yeah. We tried, like, we were kind of trending down right here. Got above, like, no, please. Reminds me of those cartoons when someone's drowning. You just see, like, the fingers, and then they're just underwater. That's what Baba kind of looks like right now. Had these candles maybe got all up to here, I'd say, yeah, probably more horizontal. Right now, it looks like if you get anything left, it's just going to suck. Lester, I'll answer this really quick. I was explaining in the beginning that get to the right one. We had gone short this. That was my hedge, but it tagged out, and I'm waiting for it to pop back up, and then I'm going to go short. I was going to go long. This is my alert to go long at that zone. Just, one more short play. But I'm also going to put an alert right here. So if that alert goes off, I will short this thing. I'm going to have to go long if it hits that zone. Aloxa? Am I saying that right? I want to. I say, can I call you Al? I'm about to record a Tesla video right now. I've gone over Tesla quite a bit on this stream, but also on Don Fran's show. As soon as I'm about to wrap this up, I'm going to record that and post it right away. So shout out to everybody that made it and do all the cool things, right? Subscribe, share it, all that. I can't grow without you guys. So I like the comments of, I'm surprised you haven't grown. YouTube likes it when you comment. Just saying. They like it when you comment, watch more than 5 minutes. And actually, let me explain YouTube to you guys really quick. When you come on these shows, and then they're an hour long, and you stick around for your ticker that takes 2 minutes, what YouTube thinks is, here's an hour-long show that you watched 2 minutes of. You couldn't even make it to the 10% mark. Couldn't even make it 6 minutes. And then it thinks I suck, and that's why. So if you want to help out, just let the thing play in the background. All day. Forever. Just kidding. I'm going to wrap it up here. I will see you, ladies and gentlemen, on Thursday. Have a good one.